Well, congratulations, bravo, that was fantastic playing. It reminds me of the famous and great pedagogue and pianist Flado Permuté. He used to always say, anybody who can play the G minor ballade coda well, that's a pianist. She plays it well. She's a real pianist. It's amazing. It's amazing that to hear a wonderful coda after a wonderful first part. I like to sum up perhaps just one thing that I think that was the most prevalent thing that you could do that will instantly change everything. And that is the ending of a line. This can be an ending of a phrase, it can be, but I'm not talking so much about the ending of the phrase. It's more of an ending of a slur. You know, I see you do it all, but it didn't come across. It was covered up by the pedal. Now, one of the things I love to stress is end of everything. There are primarily 3 stages of life, of sound. That is the beginning of the sound. You make the sound. And then there's the duration of it. And then there's how you finish it. That applies to if you play a single note. That applies to if you play a phrase. And perhaps even applies to how you play a piece, a movement. You have the beginning, you have the duration, how it develops, and then how you finish it. And of course, I often love to add 2 more elements before you begin and after you finish. So that makes it 5. Now, the conductor would know very well if it's a note. If I give you a beat like this, you know that is a very gentle beat. But if I say, then you know that is not a gentle beat. And what happened? This is before the note. And last week I happened to be, I don't know what came over me. I was watching Herbert von Karajan conducting on YouTube. And there was, sometimes he give a beat like this. And I say, and then the orchestra comes in about 2 seconds later. A pianissimo. Yet, this was not pianissimo, certainly not. But the orchestra came in. And then he did it again. And the next pianissimo note came over. And then he did this. And a rather loud note came 2 seconds later. And then at the end, and that was it, the end of the piece. And I was watching, and then I repeated a few times to be in the moment to see what that communicated with me. It's rather complex language. It cannot be talked about, but there was something true to it, that this quiet note was this. Because there was some element in it. It was not this. And it was extraordinary. And yet, after 2 of this, then there's enough agitation inwardly that when he wants the loud note, just that. And it built up to it perfectly. And so I was quite taken by it and thinking how And he was a person who always believed in that this human interactions is very, very prevalent in music making. It's all human. And so he was conducting the psyche of the music, probably the psyche of the players, his players. And so knowing that they will respond this way, respond that way, and at the end, please, yours. And the last note they played, theirs. And it's amazing. It was quite a lesson. Now, pedal use is, let me just quickly demonstrate because this might be a little closer to the audience. So, yes, that was the pedal decay. You can do a perfect, beautiful decay with the pedal. It's thanks to the leverage, the lever system. The dampers can come down very, very slowly, and so make a perfect decrescendo. Of course, we can do that with hand. Not as easy. It's possible. As verses that can shock someone. And so, now, with that shown, when do we think a note has finished? I tell myself, around when the sound has decreased by about 40%, we can say that note has finished. The sound is still there, but you can play the next note, and that will be considered it's separated. And that will avoid this cutthroat, this little hiccup that the note disappeared. But, so in other words, if you have continued many slurs, one after the other, and you can listen to it, you finish it with your pedal, you can lift it up and determine it. It has a drop of some amount, and you can the next note. This is the important pedal use. Now, it is at the very end, often. And our mind is already very busy about the next note, the next phrase. This is already busy about the hands. Go to the next, ready, go. And here, part of your mind has to be behind, make sure you finish that. And also, last night I was watching the medley, the swimming medley, and I was wondering, I remember a long time ago watching it, and one person swimmer, the next swimmer left the pit before this previous finished, and so that was disqualified, and I was really sad, and I was thinking here while you were playing, thinking, you are finishing something. And you have to, the hand is ready to play the next note, but you have to finish this before you can go on. It's something, piano playing is, a lot of it is about awareness, and you have to slowly cultivate that part that I think could really change your playing, elevate it to a different level. Okay, let's begin it again. And at the beginning, there was only a pedal matter, a pedal problem. Let's start again, but maybe you didn't know the piano. This piano is not easy to play. That's beautiful. Thank you very much. Now, you play the beginning really very, very, very well from the point of the finger, but the pedal is not optimum. Where do we watch out? You start fine. Let's try again and pay attention to, in this case, we have to modulate the pedal continuously. I don't think a long pedal is going to serve it. Okay, that's good. That's the final. And so we're trying to get to this note. We start this note. So it happens 3 times. And each time you might have to watch out the pedal. So it is between the B flat and the C. That's where you listen for how wonderful this, how smooth the pedal makes the sound. It's okay, but I don't think this is what you wanted because you had a much more resonant expression. So, adding that previous interval back into it in the pedal. Excellent. Go on. Very good. Go on. That's good. Thank you. What underlying feeling do you have when you play this? What is the underlying feeling? Nostalgia, okay. Well, the title of this piece is a ballad, and we immediately think it's a ballad, but it can also be understood as a dance, words or song that is being sung while you dance. And perhaps you can add a little bit of the 3-1. Which I loved very much about your playing is that you were sensitive to this 2 harmony, which is fantastic that you could sense that. Now, a little bit of the dance to it. The way she played these 2 notes very responsibly, and she played it very carefully like this. But you can also play it as if it's a dance. Yeah, let's try. That's already much better. Now, the right hand, these two notes, is part together with this. So you can have the same motion. Really feel it, between your hand. You know, this is always something fantastic when there's this kind of things happen where you play something that is split between hands. What does that mean? That means in order to play it, it has to combine your whole body. From right hand to left hand to right hand. You have to complete the circle. And it's actually a very fulfilling feeling when you play, if you are aware of this, that it is really together. Let's try. Yes, very good. Yeah, basically, whatever you're doing, the motion, the two arms are going to be the same. So if the left hand arm is doing this, the right hand probably will be. But if both are doing this, then they'll be like that. Yeah? Okay, excellent. Now, this is what I was talking about. There's a tiny, tiny little drop. Here. That too. There's that little break, but so tiny that it just warrants a slur. Don't rush. It's a dance. 2, 3. Oh, that one for sure you got to clear. There's a little rest. This is the rhythm. If one hears it as a very simple dotted 16 rhythm. But Chopin differentiate a regular rhythm by adding a rest in it. What does that mean? The simplest way to execute it is you have to lift up your arm. So whatever time you need to lift it up, you use it. That's it. But don't alter this. Don't alter that. That's the dance. It's not going to be altered. Yeah, you're not quite comfortable with that rhythm. Now you're playing da 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 dee dee. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah? One more time. Is it possible for you to really hold it? As you the left hand, the thumb, hold it a little longer. Also, this is a long note, so common wisdom, if it is written extra long, perhaps a bit more important. Yeah? Beautiful playing. Perhaps here we can just mention a little bit about polyphony. So polyphony, there is a voice there that is basically unimpeded by the top line. However, we also think about chamber music that it somehow enhances and helps support the top line. However, when we play something like this, we have to listen to that line, the naturalness of the line, the perfection of the line. I'm sure many of you were in the concert of Mr. Trifonov the other night, where he showed a supreme control over this kind of matter, where there's absolute control over the secondary lines, and that and the completion of the line, even more so, that they were not just being subdued for no reason. It was very, very consistent and perfectly controlled. And so in that case, I want to show you just a little interesting fact. We have many A's. The first A with this harmony, thus this feeling, and then the next A, this feeling, while this is, the tension is building, what happened? This is the final A. So as you play, one, So then you have a very beautiful little, how do you say, moment on the note, we can say on the word. And you are thinking about that word and say it this way, say it that way, and say it that way. My favorite poet in the past, goes back a few years, was Stanley Kunitz, the poet laureate. And on his, I think it was the 90th, he died, I think, 103 or something, very old. On his 90th birthday, there was an interview with him. So, sir, what do you do all day? He says, in the morning I walk to the beach and collect seaweed. And then brought the seaweed back home and put it on his flower beds, used as fertilizers. And then once I'm all satisfied with myself, then I sit down and, well, actually that's not quite true. He has a word. Each day, he says, I study one word. And so while he was at the beach and bringing better seaweed and doing that work in the garden, he's talking out loud that word. And he says, you have to have a feeling. You have to create a connection of this word. What does that word feel? What does it feel like in me? And only then I know how to use that word. And so he spends whole day with that one word. And then eventually he will have a specific feeling for it. And then he will sit down and write. And of course he says, countless papers are thrown away because it didn't work. But it always reminds me of this, whenever this kind of things happen. This word. There's so many possibilities. You know, you can just sit there for a long time, enjoy the sonority that this one word, A, provide us. Let's try again. It's like a connoisseur. There Chopin was, the connoisseur tasting his A. You know, okay. From here. Just play this once. Yeah, that's a beautiful one. And the next one. And then the next one. Good. Very good. And then in the final one. A little more of this joyous feeling. Yeah. When we have a chord, always examine it as a melody. Then you know how to shape it. And then you play like that. Try the shape. Yeah, beautiful. Good. Together now? Not quite. Of course, we want to go to the F. Yeah, there we go. Good. up. So come up, pedal off. So this is where pedaling has a lot different functions as well. And here, if we don't hold the note, if you lift up the pedal, the note is gone. So keep the left hand there. Good. Go on. Now tenor. Good. Yes, I would suggest, this is my suggestion, that we have introduced tenor, and here we continue with the tenor. Because the next one, he wrote large notes for the right hand. So that one, for sure, it is the octave in the right hand. So this time, let's honor the tenor. Something like that. Now, I'm going to show you something really cute, really, really cute in here. The left hand, the tenor is saying this. The right hand, there's a little mouse there singing with you, you know. Secretly agreeing with you, but very small. So the way we play this, we play yes, and I would suggest a very passionate long line. It's beautifully passionate. Let the top octave ring. Good. The grand waltz begins. This is a rum bum bum bum. This is a dance rhythm. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. And then the crazy dance begins. Bum 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 bum. 1 2. No. It comes on the second beat. 1 2 1 2. So 1 2 1 2 1. start from the first. Yeah. Just, you must feel in your body. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Because if you don't feel this 1, 2, you will never get the right one. You know, if you play 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, there's no excitement, right? Let's try. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. 1. Yes. Now, this is hemiola. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then it's incredibly complex rhythm. And Chopin loved rhythm. He loved hemiolas. He loved displacement of beats. And here's a prime example. But why? This embodies the excitement, perhaps the word delirium. It's just ecstasy. You know, it's just exciting, beyond control. This is what it is, okay? One more time. From here. This. And then the next time. But before, it's not. You know, it's different. I need much more C. Here it's 5-1. Before that, it's not. Can you just play the C a little louder? Good. Okay, I'm just going to talk really fast because we're already over time. A little bit about this beautiful second theme and this, etc. It's the genius Chopin. What is this? What do we call that? Cadence. Followed by cadence. And then he sings. Cadence. Two cadences. So, out of two cadences, the most sublime little theme comes. And so when we play with a certain peacefulness. And sing. seconds. Cadence. Simple as that. So once you know it, it will ease your playing by a huge amount. Because if you don't know the simple cadence, you're always a little uptight and say, how am I going to play that nicely? Don't worry. Cadence will take care of itself. When it comes to cadence, we're at ease. We don't have to elaborate too much. Okay? Thank you very much for this fantastic playing.